Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week.
The Money Line. We're live. The first show of the new year, 2024. First event going down this Saturday. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy, Mike Finch. What's happening, bro? Good to see you again. It's been a while.
Good to see you, my friend. Yes, sir. I hope you had a lovely New Year, a good Christmas. I hope the same for all of the fans. I know you've been pumping content out for them, and some shit's been going on. So I'm sure we got a couple topics to touch, but I'm back. I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this year.
Let's go, my man. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to chop it up with you about this card, but we have to talk about a couple of the recently announced fights. I think that you got to drop your take on them. We'll bring up the first ever Moneyline news segment. You know what I'm saying? Now, we've done it before, but this one looks funnier, you know? Hey, so first things first.
Go ahead.
We got to talk about Ngannou Joshua for a moment. I think that it's a really interesting fight. Obviously, I did a video on it a few days ago. That video went fucking parabolic, almost 30,000 views. I'm picking Joshua to win. I'm sticking with the boxer here against MMA royalty at this point in Ngannou. I do think Joshua's frame matches up better than Fury's did with Ngannou, physical strength wise. And I also think that Ngannou could get stunned in the fight. I feel as though the Fury fight, we looked back at it, it was a good match, right? And it was competitive and back and forth, but we knew nothing of Ngannou's true boxing capabilities. Whereas now, we've seen it versus Fury. At least Joshua will have a blueprint and absolutely will be taking him as a serious threat.
Yeah, it helps so much to have some tape of Francis Ngannou with 10-ounce boxing gloves on in the ring, moving around with a top heavyweight. I mean, it means the world to the camp of Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua seems like a really bad matchup for Francis to me. Definitely something I'll look at touching depending on where the line is at. We saw a pretty stationary Tyson Fury, and in the last fight of Anthony Joshua, we saw the exact opposite. He looks good. He looks like he's going to hunt for a KO in this fight. I think that's why Eddie Hearn made it happen. I think Eddie Hearn is going all in on the Joshua train. He didn't make it happen because the pay-per-views were great in the last fight or something. He made this shit happen because he believes AJ is going to be able to get a referee to step in between him and Francis Ngannou. Huge opportunity for Francis Ngannou. I mean, talk about, whatever you want to call it, he made the right moves, man. Francis Ngannou is cashing out big time, regardless of what happens in that ring. He's just fought the 2 biggest names in boxing back to back. What a beast! And it's all up for Francis. So it's just blessings on blessings for Team Ngannou, Team Extreme Couture.
I think so, man. Ngannou's got, a great paycheck coming, regardless of the outcome. He's a winner in his fighting career, and I do think that Joshua is going to be too tall of a task. So I'm going to be picking Joshua. I'm going with the boxer. I'm not picking Ngannou. We'll see. You could catch him, but just makes sense to have Joshua outbox him.
Yeah, I mean, Joshua is very technical and capable of fighting in a boxing style. I mean, look at the way that he fought against the Ukrainian champion. He did a great job boxing with Usyk, and that level of boxing, Francis just has not had a time to develop. So if he just goes out there and boxes, Francis Ngannou uses a high output, learns from the fact that if you clinch up with Ngannou, you are going to be clinching up with one of the strongest human beings in combat sports history. So you better be prepared for that. And I think Anthony Joshua is the right guy. I actually think he is a fairly bad matchup for Francis, barring that he eats a big shot, but everybody has that problem. him. I'm telling you, if Francis Ngannou was stepping in there with Deontay Wilder, this could be a totally different conversation. He's not. He's in there with a much more technically sound guy, a guy who's kind of gotten away from being a puncher, much more of a boxer. I think that's going to be a good thing against a Francis Ngannou, who, regardless of an outstanding performance against Tyson Fury, is extremely green.
Yeah, the Fury fight, he looked epic, but Fury was going in against somebody that he had no idea. The style was a shock. Like, he didn't know what the hell Ngannou's boxing was going to look like. We didn't know. I
You've
do
been
think
so nice about this, AJ. I watched your breakdown and you said, we didn't see the best Tyson Fury, but I don't want to take anything away
I
from
don't want to
Francis.
take anything away from
No,
Francis.
we got to tell the people like it is. Tyson Fury looked like shit.
He
Tyson
did.
Fury fought horribly. I normally see Tyson Fury slipping, level changing, rolling shots, coming in there with feints, pushing forward, and then able to fight off the back foot as well. We didn't see any. He looked like old English, like England style boxing. You know what I mean? Where they're just kind of available. They just use the gloves to catch shots. No good head movement. The timing was gone. I don't know what was going on, but Francis being awkward is certainly an aspect of it. It's not to take anything away from Francis. We're just calling it like we see it. Tyson Fury looked bad. A normal Tyson Fury, I think, does better than that. The Anthony Joshua we can assume will show up. Come on, man. It's got to be worth a bet if the line's anything but ridiculous.
I think that it's interesting, too, that you mentioned Wilder, because he got completely shut out against Joseph Parker. That was the bust of the century because they were trying to set up the Wilder-Joshua fight for years. I think, though, there's a good thing that comes out of this. Because if Anthony Joshua is successful, as we expect, to beat a Francis Ngannou, that Deontay Wilder fight's still on the table. We can still make that. That's still a fight that I'd watch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. This is the right move again for Francis Ngannou.
Absolute savage. Far from fumbling the bag. Now, another boxing match got dropped like an hour ago, and this one is weird. This is an awkward fight. Jorge Masvidal returning to combat sport boxing. He's taken on Nate Diaz for a second time in a fight that nobody asked for, and I take this as the Jake Paul sweepstakes. That's it. He wants the Jake Paul fight. If he beats Nate Diaz, he will get the Jake Paul fight, Mike Finch. You know that is the mentality coming in here. Big money, send it off. I don't blame him because he has a chance to make a lot here against Nate, and then he does one more against Jake. He's going to be taking a bag and a half home. So I get the logic for that. But if you talk about actual fan interest, do I give a shit about them boxing? Absolutely not. If they were fighting in MMA again, though, I'd be intrigued by it. I'd be curious to see him run it back. But boxing? Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna part ways on that. I think this is more intriguing because I have seen them fight in MMA. So like, why not? Like, I don't know. Entertain me. You're not gonna be entertained, AJ. Here's what I really got to push back on. The Jake Paul sweepstakes. AJ, who did he fight last? Did anybody know that fight was gonna go on? My buddy Kevin texts me, he goes, yeah. Jake Paul's got to fight. I'm like, Jake Paul's fighting tonight? What? Come on, man. Nobody's watching the Jake Paul show right now.
Well, that fight right there was him trying to go the traditionalist boxing route. You get Masvidal in the mix, I promise you, it's going to be the Jake Paul sweepstakes. And they'll pay him good for a pay-per-view. We also got a dono in chat. Tiratu Paku 5 Australian dollars. The Moneyline crew back at it. My fucking guys, miss you, Finch. Let's get it. Thank you, Tiratu. Much love.
Thank you, brother. Hey, we appreciate you. We appreciate our regulars, and there's one. Good to be back, guys.
Let's go. I don't know, man. I think it's weird. I'll watch if it doesn't coincide with the
let
UFC
them box.
event.
I know the UFC doesn't love it, and I'm very pro UFC, so I understand from the business aspect that they're like, damn it, these guys are leaving the box. From a fan's perspective, it's interesting.
It's a weird one. I don't know, man.
They're cashing out, AJ.
Yeah, I agree. They're
cashing out.
They're going to make money. I just think it's going to suck. I think it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be awkward. It's not going to be good.
These are two of the most overrated boxers in MMA history.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting in the two most overrated fighters, Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, the credit that they got. I mean, even from some of the smartest people in the sport, the matchmakers, Dana White was like, we shouldn't put Jorge Masvidal in with Conor McGregor. Huh? Conor's a lot better than Jorge Masvidal ever was.
It's just Conor got no love towards the end because Masvidal got some sick KOs. He slept Darren Till in the fashion, the knockout of Askren.
Okay, you just heard what you just said. Ben Askren. Ben Askren. The worst striker in UFC modern day history. And who else did he sleep? Darren Till. I mean, Darren Till and Ben Askren are two other overrated fighters.
Yeah, Darren Till. He was a great striker, but he just couldn't put it together. Really good striker. How about that?
Who'd he outstrike?
Sean Strickland in sparring.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, mate.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so let's just skip past the boxing talk, Let's talk about two MMA fights that just got dropped that are worth discussing. Sarukian versus Oliveira, Benoit Saint-Denis, Dustin Poirier. Mike Finch, do you know my picks? You know where I'm going?
No, first of all, these are fire fights. UFC. Very nice job. Come on, man. Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian. That is war.
It's going to be epic. But what do you think, though? What do you think my leans are? You don't know. You have no idea.
I'm picking what I think your picks are.
Okay. What are your picks?
No, I'm saying if that's what you want me to do. I think AJ's going to lean. Right. I think AJ's going to lean. Shit, these are tough. They're tough fights. I think you're happy about that Sarukian performance, bro. I think you're gonna give Sarukian his due, and then I bet you're gonna side with the old vet Poirier, aren't you?
Nope, Poirier's done. He's fucking washed, baby. Benoit Saint-Denis gonna strangle him, bro. Rear naked. He's gonna strangle him. He's gonna walk through his best shots. It's a 5-round fight. Benoit Saint-Denis gets the back and chokes.
Benoit Saint-Denis a dog for sure. But I was right about Arman.
Yeah, you're right about Arman. I am picking Arman.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I don't know who's going to win those fights. Let me think about those. Those are great fights.
Threw it at you. I just threw it at you.
Bro, those I just want to say bravo to putting those fights together. I don't know how they got Dustin Poirier to say yes. Unless Dustin Poirier is like absolutely convinced he's going to demolish this kid, because Benoit Saint-Denis does not say die. Benoit Saint-Denis, he hits you and he wants your ancestors to feel it. He's trying to drown people. I mean, this guy brings a lot of heat, a lot of pressure. He's a beast. And then Arman Sarukian after that ridiculous KO. I mean, him and the way Charles do Bronx looked against the Huntington Beach legend Beneil Dariush. Those
Huntington
two guys
Beach good
clashing. That's just gonna be World War III. That's an amazing fight.
The Huntington Beach choir boy, Beneil Dariush.
Oh, come on, bro.
I like that. Why was that bad, man?
The Huntington Beach choir, because we ain't got no. Well, actually, there are some churches. There are a lot of God-fearing folk in Huntington Beach. So fair enough. There are some choirs around here. Okay,
the Huntington Beach choir boy. I like that nickname.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So fight-wise, though, you're definitely feeling that these are coin flips. Why I'm going the way of the new blood with Poirier, a lot of miles on the car, bad knockout loss last time. I think that he's going to be drowned by Benoit Saint-Denis. And then on the side of Sarukian and Oliveira, it's a weird one because it's 3 rounds. And I think that we're definitely going to see Sarukian's wrestling advantage in the fight. If you look at the striking, yes, Oliveira has dangerous striking, but Sarukian's got some explosiveness too. And if he cracks Charles Oliveira, he won't fear going to the ground with him. And I think that is a major tool in this fight. Willingness to engage in grappling with the side of Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, 100%. It's a strange matchup, but I do think the aggression of Charles Oliveira just throws him into it. Charles Oliveira is so dangerous that Arman Sarukian, anytime he takes a shot, anytime he lets go with that right hand or that left hook, Charles can knee him in the face. Charles can finish fights. So especially the Charles that starts fast, like this 2022, 2023, now 2024 Charles Oliveira, who comes out there and just starts quick. This is a different type of animal, and he's going to be live.
I'm just trolling you, man. I thought you froze, Fitch.
Did I? I might be freezing. I'm like busting out my phone.
I don't know.
So I got you.
I'll be
Am I
honest
good?
with you, this staring into my soul as I was wiping my nose, man. It was great timing.
Oh shit! All right. I have us hardwired to my shit internet that I get here in Huntington
great.
Beach. So I hope we're good.
I think we're good. I hope we're
Okay.
good too. Listen, I like the takes. I want to talk this weekend. I want to get into some fucking predictions. It's been a long time coming. We are back with the money line. We're back with the breakdown. It's UFC Vegas 84. Make sure you guys smash the likes. And if you haven't, subscribe. Subscribe for the daily content, live streams, the Moneyline podcast, predictions, news, etc. Fight companions. You don't want to miss a thing over here. Let's get
Turn
into
the
it.
post notifications on.
on.
If you like
Come
it,
on.
but you don't know what to say, drop a W in the comments.
Do it all, man. All right, let's get to this. First fight on the card. It's Felipe Bunes versus Joshua Van. I'm not going with a 35-year-old, well, 34 in a few months, Bunes at flyweight against Van, who looks like a really fucking good striking prospect. The dude's got hands for days. Bunes fought in LFA. He looked okay. I don't know. I feel like he's got a well-rounded enough skill set, but I don't see it towards like upper echelon. And he's a Pitbull Brothers guy. So he does have, decent training partners. But I think Joshua Van's going to touch him up on the feet. I think he's going to be a lot faster with his hands. I think he'll avoid the grappling positions. Van is like short, stocky, and explosive. I think he's going to be really hard for Bunes to control too. So Van for the win. Could he get a knockout? Yes, but I'm kind of thinking decision is pretty live here too.
When I went to Fight Ready and I saw Davison Figueiredo getting ready for Brandon Moreno, the time that he beat him with the calf kicks, the guy he was sparring was Felipe Bunes. I got to hang out with him at the house. I got a little interview in with him. That's my boy. I'm picking my guy because I'm completely biased. Don't you dare shadow my pick here. You might want to fade me. I don't know. Everybody else seems to be picking against him. Joshua Van, very tight striking, nice. He'll let his hands go nice. He could put the car in drive, although he does like to pull straight back sometimes. And I think he could, risk getting subbed on the ground, could risk getting clipped up on the feet. Felipe Bunes definitely a little wider with his strikes, but I like the company that he's been sparring with. I do think it's like a 50-50 fight. So I'm going to back my guy. I'm going to go Bunes to kick off 2024, and I'll be crossing my fingers.
Well, Mike Finch, I'm sorry your 2024 record starts 0-1. It's plus 180 for Bunes with Van at minus 210.
Start with the dog.
The over is plus 120. Yeah, Bunes, you got a dog here. Interesting. The over, though, is plus 120. A flyweight fight with the over juiced up at plus. That's kind of weird. It's because Van's got some hands on him, but Bunes is not going to be easy to chin. I'm going to go Van on the cards. Don't love the prop betting side, but I will read off. Van by decision is plus 220. Money line's better, but it is a little wide at minus 210. Favorite status. I'm going with the favorite. Finch going dog. Flyweight, first fight of the night. Let's get to the next one. Second fight on the card. We got Tom Nolan versus Nicolas Motta. This to me is black and white. Simple answer. Tom Nolan by knockout. That's it. Wash the hands of it. He's probably KOing him in the first round. Motta's hittable as hell. He's a brawler who's willing to take shots to land them, but he doesn't have a Benoit Saint-Denis chin where he can absorb these big bombs. He's been knocked out a lot in the first round. And Tom Nolan is coming off of a first-round knockout of Bogdan Grad on the Contender Series. It was a scintillating KO. He made easy work of him. I think Nolan makes easy work of Motta here too.
I'm seeing some Motta KO in the comments here.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Look, Motta is powerful. Motta's in the fight, but he's at such a what's the height disadvantage, reach disadvantage? Pretty extreme, right?
The height and reach disadvantage. Let's see. Let me bring up the
Huge, right? I think that's pretty extreme. I think he's gonna have a lot of trouble closing.
5.5
distance.
height
Say again?
or reach. Reach is 5.5. Height is 6 inches, favoring Nolan.
I mean, come on, man. And he's the type of guy who loops his shots. It's going to be pretty hard to close that distance. I think he's getting clipped up too. So I hate to fade Motta, but I'm doubling up with AJ. I think he might get finished.
Yeah, I think he's gonna chin him, bro. Nolan by knockout.
Nolan.
Tom Nolan is a minus 330 favorite, but I think he's a pretty sure winner. This fight going under 1.5, minus 220, very likely. Nolan by KO, minus 185. He's gonna KO him.
Yeah, I think this fight finishes because of their style clash too, right? Motta's gonna go for it. Yeah, I think he's getting clipped early. Let's say first round KO, knockout of the night.
He's getting smoked. He's knocking him the fuck out. It's gonna be easy money. Smash the guy.
I like Motta too. I mean, he's an exciting fighter
You
for
like him,
sure.
oh.
But you're right. You know, I think chinned is the right word. I think he's getting chinned, man. It's a fight where he's got to close this distance, and the range and the straight right hand is gonna find a home.
Yeah, bro. I just see a vicious knockout. I will tell you, man. Motta was getting beaten up against Ogden too. He was on his way to losing that fight. Now you throw him a striker, Nolan. We got to go Nolan by KO. No surprise prediction there. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Westin Wilson, aka Wonder Boy's less athletic brother, the runt of the Wonder Boy litter, and Gene Silva on the opposite side. Now, Westin Wilson's a guy that trains with Wonder Boy, has that karate style, and it's awkward, and he's got length, but he reminds me of like a smaller version of the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright. He looks good early with the kicks, some kung fu shit, and then Gene Silva punches him in the face and crumbles him. Gene Silva's a fighting nerds guy. He's got power. He beat Kevin Vallejos, who was supposed to be really good and is really good on Contender Series. Gene Silva by knockout. He starches him. Easy money, bro.
Easy money. Damn. Another guy who is going to have a half a foot of difference, right? I mean, how is he supposed to close this distance? His Muay Thai is really nice. He's far more powerful, but people are jumping on him so heavy, man. Yeah, his Muay Thai is good. I mean, just looking at it on paper, you know me, I try to not mess with odds. I do think that that he'll get the more damage in, and that'll be a problem. But he probably spends a lot of time on the outside getting, push kick to the knee, Wonder Boy style, right?
First couple minutes, I can see that too. Now, do you know something, Mike Finch? Teruto Ishihara. You remember him?
Honestly? You went over my head. Go on.
Teruto Ishihara was in the UFC years ago. He's 11-9 now. He slept Westin Wilson a year and 3 months ago. Okay, so if you're getting slept by Ishihara on the regional scene,
pulling up Ishihara.
Go look up. You're gonna recognize him. You'll know him. Ishihara's chinning him in 2020s. The hell out of here. Silva's gonna lay him clean. Silva by knockout. You'll see him.
Oh, of course, yeah. of course. Yeah. I remember this dude.
He chinned them.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. Piotr Jan blew right through him. That's the fight I was thinking of.
That's funny.
Yes, that's right. Okay. That's not good. That is not ideal. But 5-7. All right. Well, that made me feel more comfortable with the pick, AJ. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Listen, I was thinking
Silva could get a knockout here. Are you telling the folks the fight's gonna end? It's gonna finish?
Lock of the week. Best bet is minus 900 Silva. I'm fucking trolling here. I'm joking. Minus 900.
Whoa. Okay.
Dude, Westin Wilson doesn't even look UFC level, I think. And I mean, when the line is wide like this, I just worry some weird shit's gonna happen. I don't know. In Brazil, maybe they put the house on Wilson. And then Silva gives his back up and Wilson strangles him. So I don't know. Realistically, Silva should win by knockout in the first round. It's just there's no betting on minus 900. I mean, what are you going to touch? Knockout prop for Silva minus 200.
Exactly. Yeah, the odds are a little too wide for me. Everybody seems so confident on Silva. Fair enough. Just don't fuck up your parlay on this. That's my advice.
Yeah, don't fuck up your parlay when you're getting barely any points. Like, unless you're shooting a real long shot, you're not getting much on Silva. He's minus 900. Big favorite. I will pick him. Finch will pick him. Yeah, he should win by knockout, but very wide favorite.
TJ Broderick says Bryce Mitchell early stoppage. You agree?
Yep. I think at this point we're fighting to the death.
What's wrong with these refs, man? What is wrong with these refs?
I don't know.
How dare you, TJ?
I know.
How dare you?
Shit, there was some life left in him. He was jolting. Let him put him out for real.
Stop. Nah, see, when somebody gets knocked out bad, you can't clown them because you know what? Yeah. Who else is stepping in there? Which one of you in the comment section is stepping in there against Josh fucking Emmett? Because Josh Emmett, we all knew he's got that KO power. We both picked Emmett by KO, didn't we?
Not me. Not me. I'm a fucking moron. Not me.
You're kidding. You didn't pick Bryce
Doug Nasty, bro.
You didn't pick Doug Nasty.
Why'd you even have to bring this up? Now I look like an idiot
oh
for 2024.
My God. What? Really? Okay. I knew. No. Okay, my bad, bro. Hey,
no, you're good. You're good.
On.
Let's go. Next fight on the card, we got Farid Basharat versus Taylor Lapilus. I like Lapilus' last name, Lapilus, but I don't like him in this fight. I think that Basharat is gonna smash this rat. I'm going Basharat for the win. Lapilus, in all honesty, I think is pretty good. And I was weirded out by this fight when I saw it on this card because I said to myself, don't we have the French market expanding? Why are we throwing a really good French prospect against a really good prospect stateside, but Muslim prospect? I don't know exactly where he's from off the top of my head, but he trains at Extreme Couture. Okay, so a Las Vegas guy.
Right.
Why are we doing this to Lapilus? I don't get it. It's weird to me seeing like this type of prospect fight because I think there's marketability for both. But nonetheless, I think Basharat beats him. I mean, dude, he controlled Damon Blackshear, who's pretty good. And Lapilus looked okay against Colin Lauren, who I honestly don't think is good at all. He kind of looks like Brock Lesnar if he was a dwarf.
Brock Lesnar if he was a dwarf. Holy shit. They need to redo Lord of the Rings. And they need to make dwarf Brock Lesnar. Can anybody who's a good artist please give us the dwarf Brock Lesnar? That is incredible. Look, dwarf Brock Lesnar is probably a fucking problem, okay? You see how hard it is to take down Volkanovski because he's so short? Can you imagine that freaking tank of a man, but he's like short? He's still got the 4XL hands though.
That'd be terrifying.
That'd be a problem, brother. So I don't know if that's a bad thing. Farad Basharat, I'm a big fan. How am I going to bet against Farad? He's up against a test like this kid for sure. Taylor's a problem, but I think Double Impact is about to be impacted into the mat if he wants to grapple. And I do think that on the feet, it's still competitive and he likes to go to decision. You don't want to be going long with these more experienced guys in the UFC. So Taylor's got one fight in the UFC. I am not impressed. I do like that he's fought good competition outside of the UFC. The records look nice to me, but Farad Basharat's the man. So you can't be fading Basharat against a relative UFC newcomer. Yeah, that's too soon.
Well, I will say, Finch, and I hate to correct you, but if you dig back to 2016, Taylor Lapilus was 3-1 in the UFC, but did not re-sign.
Wow.
Yeah, way back. But yeah, recently, he disappeared for a long time. People kind of completely forgot about him. But this right here, it's a tough fight against a dangerous prospect in Basharat.
He fought the GOATs, Rocky Lee, Ulka Sasaki, and Eric Perez. The GOATs, bro. Those are the three greatest fighters of all time. I mean,
yeah. I think so.
Who else could you put up there? I'm fucking around. Wow, 2015.
Years ago. And then he went and he fought like around the European scene and whatnot, was the Aries FC champ. I think he's really solid. It's just I wasn't really impressed by the debut. Could it be jitters? Maybe. But now you throw him Basharat, who I think is just too well-rounded, stronger. I think better in the grappling, better in the striking. I'm going Basharat decision, bro.
Basharat decision. Yeah, it makes too much sense, especially since Taylor likes to go long, So I think that against a high-level competitor like Basharat, he gets those rounds, man. He knows how to win these fights. He's on fire. Basharat is on fire. Big fan. So give me Basharat
Basharat for sure he's a good call, but betting wise, he's ugly at minus 300, plus 250 for Lapilus by winning, I guess, money line. But I'm looking at something though. Prop bet Basharat to win decision. I was hoping to get a little play. No, it's minus 150. So we got no plus money at all.
It's still nice though, because
Better than money line.
I don't know. I'm confident in Basharat. Max Blanco Finch, when you said, I am not impressed, you sound like George St. Pierre. Thank you for noticing, Max. Thank you. You're a real fan, Max.
That's great. Basharat sub prop could be juicy. Let me see what that is, Baku. Plus 400 for sub on Basharat's side. Note that Lapilus has never been submitted, and he has 6 wins by submission.
I'd have to dig into that, man. Apparently, I need to get to know Lapilus better. I don't know. Folks, if you want to go for it, go for it. But I think Basharat could be a nice little small play. I trust Basharat, and as far as betting goes, he's a guy where he's consistent. He shows up. He's a well-rounded guy. You're right. His top game is nasty. I mean, if he gets on top of anybody in the UFC, he could choke him.
I think Basharat confident call. Both of us. We're on Basharat. We got him winning this fight. Let's keep running though.
I'm going money line because the odds aren't wide. Yeah, the odds are even.
Minus 300 though, so a little on the uglier side.
Oh, that's not even. Okay. All right. Well, now we're in parlay territory, so we'll consider him later, folks. Stick around.
Let's go. Next fight on the card, we got Marcus McGhee versus Gaston Bolaños. The pick is Marcus McGhee by submission. Gaston Bolaños was getting mounted by Aaron Phillips, bro. Aaron Phillips was out grappling him a bit. Bolaños' striking looks good. He's a kickboxer, comes from a pro background. He fought in Bellator for a while. Marcus McGhee does have a huge grappling advantage. He's also a good athlete too, and has, I'd say, pretty solid stand-up to go alongside of a good ground game. And I just think it has to be McGhee by sub. I think Bolaños is strangled.
If he gets to the top position. I mean, Gaston Bolaños, I know him from Bellator, really good dude, and trains with a bunch of savages up there, and they're in California, trains with Jess, and all those they're good strikers, and they have a gym where it's hybrid training, where they'll go train with Uriah Faber, or they'll bring in different coaches. He gets a lot of different looks. You're right. The problem is the grappling. And the problem is if he ends up underneath Gaston Bolaños, it could go wrong. But if he could kickbox, he's the type of guy where he'll stay ahead of you. His output's good. He's experienced. I mean, he's got a pathway to a decision. I wouldn't bet the house against my man Gaston, but I could see him ending up underneath Marcus McGhee here. Marcus McGhee, 1 submission, 7 knockouts. So, not necessarily a grappler, but he does have good grappling. I don't know if he chooses to strike with Gaston, maybe he loses a decision. Is that possible, AJ? I think Marcus McGhee, obviously more dangerous, obviously has more finishes, but I could see Gaston Bolaños winning 2 out of 3 rounds. I don't know.
I guess for me, I look at the Journey Newsome win for McGhee. He submitted him. So I could see him submitting a guy like Bolaños.
His first submission ever, though.
Yeah.
In his pro career. This is not a grappler. As to where, people seem to want to think that he's just going to go out there, shoot a blast double, and Dagestan smash Gaston Bolaños. I don't see why we would think that.
Well, maybe Bolaños is a good underdog then, because he's sitting
I was thinking about it. I mean, he's not as powerful. I don't think he'd finish the fight. But if it goes to a decision, you can imagine him kickboxing his way to a decision. That being said, I mean, maybe the second submission does come. You can't just go off of records. He does look good when he's grappling Journey Newsome, but he's grappling Journey Newsome.
Right. That is true. Bolaños is a plus 220 dog with McGhee as minus 260, the favorite. The sub play for McGhee is plus 300. Interesting. The over 2.5 is plus 175. A finish is expected here.
I think that's because of the favorite. I mean, if you're thinking Gaston Bolaños, like I'm trying to imagine, you could think decision, but if you're going to go with, if you're gonna go with McGhee, you got to think knockout or submission. So that just depends on where you're leaning. Yeah, I'll go crazy and go with the dog here. Again, careful, folks. This is not my lock of the night, but I'm gonna tip the hat to Gaston, and I think that he has a pathway to get this thing done.
Respect. Finch going Gaston Bolaños, like he said, lock of the night,
Fuck, this is what they did. This is what they do to me on this show, AJ.
No, I respect that pick though, bro. And I'm interested because I'm not crazy about throwing on McGhee, especially money line, maybe sub. So Bolaños is a dog is intriguing because if McGhee doesn't get him down and we just kickbox, like you said, Bolaños does have a path on the feet for sure.
I think his output is going to be much higher. I think he's experienced. He's got good cardio. He trains with a good team. He's in his prime. It's a close fight.
I agree. Let's keep running, my friend. Next fight on the card, it's Matt Semelsberger versus Preston Parsons. Mike Finch, I'm going with Preston Parsons, which I know people have given me that look in the comments. I can just see it. The reason I'm going with him is because I think he can put a wrestling pace on Semelsberger. I don't feel like Semelsberger is that good. I know that Jake Mathews win his age kind of well because Jake's a pretty solid dude, pretty well-rounded guy. But he's like kind of slow on the feet at times. I don't think he's all that impressive as a fighter. Like, I'm not, whoa, when I watch Semelsberger, I'm like, yeah, he's a dog. He's tough. He can scrap. But damn, bro, Uros Medic whooped his ass last time. And I'm just having a hard time not seeing Preston Parsons as the winner. Parsons, I know he hasn't looked good in the UFC for the most part. He's got the Evan Elder win. Elder obviously is a lightweight. Split decision loss to Trevin Giles, but Giles is a crafty vet.
He is.
D-Rod knockout loss. It is what it is. I'm going to go Parsons by a decision. Semelsberger could surely catch him, but I'm going to say that Parsons is able to get some takedowns. He puts Semelsberger on his back and gets a little control.
Yeah, I could see Parsons scoring takedowns here. No, you're not crazy at all. Semelsberger's been a little underwhelming, but he's a better striker, and it really is about the takedowns. I mean, this fight is about the takedowns too. It's like, if Parsons gets to the top position, Semelsberger will slowly gas. That'll take away his pop and his punches. But yeah, isn't Semelsberger the favorite?
He's sitting at -132.
Close odds. Yeah. Give me Semelsberger. I think he gets the decision based on striking, but interesting one. Not one I'm going to run to bet on. I mean, if you guys are confident that Parsons is getting the takedowns, yeah, he'll smash Semelsberger, but I think Semelsberger is going to dig some underhooks, get back to the center of the cage, and let his hands go. It's time for him to get a win here if he's going to be a relative gatekeeper in the division, which I do see him as, at least now. We'll see how this one goes, but Semelsberger, better striker. I think he makes it work.
Semelsberger, I respect your call on that end. I'm going to go Parsons, but close money. +112, slight dog Parsons with Semelsberger as a -132 favorite. Looking at decision or this fight going over 1.5 is -155. I think there's a good chance it goes over 1.5. Parsons by a decision is 4-1 +400.
Yeah.
Semelsberger decision also +400.
Yeah, no, I think this fight goes all rounds. Paku says Parsons because Semelsberger has a negative fight IQ. How dare you, Paku? My goodness. Negative fight IQ. Justin Mack MMA says, bro, football, because Chad Cuba over here is winning money. Guys, are you watching college kids play football? What is wrong with people? You are watching children play football. This is absurd to me. The entire infatuation, love, obsession. I'm filling out my brackets of college sports. College kids? AJ, I don't get it.
I don't watch it, but I can understand the hype. Something that I always struggle to get though, like imagine like you went to the school, I don't know. It's like
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. People don't go to the school. I'm talking to 45-year-old grown-ass men with families. Like, are you watching the game? Like what, the college kids? The college kids playing ball? What are we talking about here?
I've talked to people, they like college better.
Bless them. I mean, why don't you just watch amateur MMA? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why not? Why isn't everybody turning on? What is the attraction? What, they score more points? Yeah. So do like Go watch like high school games. Like why draw the line at college? I guess I don't get it.
Chad Cuba said it's an income, dude. I made 5,300 this weekend from watching sports.
Okay, well, Chad, we want to see the stubs first of all before you go talking all this mad shit. All right, that's pretty good money. If you really did get that, congratulations. We over here bet on fist fights like reasonable folk.
Yeah, exactly. The fist fight is a more reasonable thing. These are grown men. They're ready to fight. They're 21 plus, or for the most part.
We're talking UFC fights, okay? Yeah. I want to see the best fighter fight the best fighter. I want to see Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sarukian. That's the type of shit that I'm tuning in for, folks. Not, some freaking college football game where a bunch of like young 20-something-year-old, absolute amateurs, okay, go toe-to-toe with college scholarships. They can't even make money off of the game. What is it? How does a 45-year-old get excited about it? I just don't get it.
Chad also wants to say more. He said he made 6,500 parlay in MMA.
That's what I'm talking about, Come to MMA. Come to bare knuckle fighting. I'll even let you go to boxing, all right? College football,
that's a big step for you.
That's where I draw the line.
That's funny. What about betting on sport jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Gordon Ryan's odds have been absurd. Have you seen some of the odds, some of the lines? Him and Nicky Rod popped his damn ankle. The odds were insane. Had Nicky Rod actually got the stoppage or got a faster escape time, which Nicky Rod's incredible at escaping, some of the odds Gordon Ryan gets, you got to look at some of these too. I mean, yes, I'm a big pro jiu-jitsu fan for sure. Interested in it.
Let's go.
Not college pro jiu-jitsu.
College,
and it wouldn't even be pro; it'd be amateur.
What about college wrestling?
You can't get paid. What are we talking about?
What about college wrestling?
Well, that's different.
We got it. That's funny as shit.
I mean, sure. College wrestling. I'm not. You know why it's cooler? Because nobody else watches. All right.
That's fair.
There's nobody freaking out. The stands are like empty sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
the parents are there.
Respect those guys.
No,
I much prefer Olympic wrestling. I much prefer like when they put on these wrestling events, like they did like Ben Askren versus Jordan Burroughs. Like, give me more pro, like where so they get paid is all I mean. I know what you're thinking. You want WWE, Mike? No, I'm talking about, paying the athletes to put on great matchups. I'm in.
Yeah. Let's go. Hey, listen, let's keep getting into this shit.
Okay.
Let's keep running. Featured
Justin Mack. Don't talk about my dad.
Awesome. Funny. All right. Featured prelim of the night. Where's Waldo versus Andrei Arlovski? I'm sorry that my nose is sniffling up, man. I think I got to grab a tissue. This is actually emotion coming out because
I could take this one over for you.
This is the final dance for Arlovski, man.
You could just hand me the mic on this one, AJ. Listen, folks. Andrei Arlovski, it's been a hell of a career. All right. The pit bull. This guy used to wear, maybe he still does. He's got the pit bull teeth. I got some sharp ones too. He's got the pit bull teeth on his mouthpiece. Okay. I was so young watching Andrei Arlovski fights when I saw that mouthpiece. I said, Dad, look, he shaved his teeth so they're extra sharp like a pit bull. My dad's like, son, he has that on his mouthpiece. Oh, shit. That's how young I was watching Andrei Arlovski fight. Back when he had the long hair. I mean, the pit bull has been out here for a minute, all right? I remember back hair Andrei Arlovski, okay? I remember, Sambo? What did he used to get credited with? Belarusian Andrei Arlovski. I think maybe before he moved to Chicago. That might be wrong. You can fact check me on that. Andrei, the Pitbull Arlovski, has given us a tremendous career, and he's been competing with these heavyweights for a long time now. I mean, how many times have we said, damn, yeah, Andrei in his 40s, but this heavyweight division, he might be able to. The buck stops here. Where's Waldo is going to erase the legend. I mean, he is going to blast the legend and hit him with a 2024 punch, because Everybody's time has to come at some point. It's curtains at some point, and this is the last year of Andrei Arlovski's career, God willing. So, all the best to the legend. It's been great, but I am absolutely going to look at betting on this fight.
Waldo is going to whoop his ass. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. Waldo by KO.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pitbull doesn't have not only the same chin, but the same movement. Like, he's taken so many miles. And then you also got on the flip side with Where's Waldo. Dude's got fast hands. He's got a boxing background in his own right with knockout power. I predicted him to knock out Lucas Drezhki and start finishing people in the UFC. The streak continues here. Waldo by KO. The lines are ugly, though, Mike. It's minus 650 for Where's Waldo with Arlovski at plus 475. Waldo by KO minus 180.
Ugly? Bro, I'm happy with that. I'm good with that.
Did you hear what I said?
Minus 650.
You happy with that?
Andrei Arlovski should run for president because apparently you got to be 80 years old to run for president in this country. Okay? It's over for Andrei. I don't think this is a competitive matchup. I think this is a complete blowout. I think your money is very safe with Where's Waldo, and of course it's a fist fight, so people, come on. I always have to run through this bit, but when I get confident on a pick, it's important for you degenerates out there. Okay, George St. Pierre lost to Matt Serra. Okay, Gabriel Gonzaga knocked Mirko Cro Cop out with a head kick. This is a crazy sport. All right, however, Where's Waldo should absolutely smash Andrei Arlovski in the first round. I'd be so surprised if this even went to a decision.
You hear the conspiracy, though, that Gonzaga kick never happened.
Get out of here, bro.
Bro.
What are you talking about,
AJ? Bro, he never kicked him in the head. He laid down. He took a dive. It missed. They paid him off. I'm telling you, he bet the other side. It's fake news. Gonzaga
AJ,
never high kicked Cro Cop. It's a lie.
So they don't misinterpret.
No, I'm not lying to you guys. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah.
I know that Gabriel Gonzaga threw his shin up there and cracked Mirko Cro Cop in the skull because I saw it from every freaking angle you could possibly see as Mirko Cro Cop falls back and breaks his ankle backwards. It was disgusting. You're telling me that was a dive? Mirko Cro Cop broke his leg? When it's an MMA fight where if you wanted to take a dive, you could just put your head in a guillotine and get guillotined and tapped. No, he's going to get head kick KO'd and fall back and break his ankle. Get the fuck out of here, AJ.
All right. Listen, you believe what you want to believe, man.
AJ's messing around. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. I made a friend at the gym who's a flat earther. Okay.
Yeah.
And he keeps sending me flat earth videos. You guys are driving me crazy with your conspiracies. Okay. You're driving me crazy. I need my sanity back, please.
That's funny as fuck. Yeah, bro. Arlovski's getting chinned here. I'll tell you that for a fact, though. There's no conspiracy on that. It's truth.
Okay. We're gonna solve this one off air because I just laid out a bulletproof case on why that's a real fight. And guys, UFC fights are legit. They're legit. Okay. There have been a couple dives in MMA. Mirko Cro Cop versus Gabriel Gonzaga ain't one of them.
All right. Listen, let's get to the main card. We got big fights to talk about. Finch and I both picking Waldo with confidence, as expected. Starting the main card off, we got Phil Hawes versus Bruno Ferreira. Guys, if you haven't yet, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. And turn those post notifications on because it's daily content on the channel. You don't want to miss it. Moneyline Mondays, we're bringing the heat. First show for Finch and I of 2024, but the daily content has been flowing since the UFC break. So keep it locked in, baby. Mike Finch, I'm picking Phil Hawes to beat Bruno Ferreira. He's the better fighter between the two. It's just the chin is a little bit softer than this glass. Okay.
Oh man, what a tough pick to make. Two guys who got some problems. They got some problems. Phil Hawes has a path. You think he out wrestles him?
I think Phil Hawes can just out MMA him. I think he's definitely got faster hands. I kind of think Phil Hawes might chin Ferreira.
Man,
he got power. Like, he knocked out Malhoun in one shot.
I'm about to chin everybody in the chat. Western Mass Climber, only 38 likes, you slackers. Yeah, what's going on? 147 people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, and we appreciate that. That's how you show some love around here. The best way to show some love is to donate us some money, folks. I got to live out here in California. Can I get some help? Listen, I think that Phil Hawes is the better fighter, but there's something to be said for the way he gets slept. I mean, it's an issue, and he's fighting a real powerhouse in Ferreira. So, he has a flip a coin type of fight. Don't make me bust the coin. I got the Doge coin.
Up to you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Doge coin.
Definitely do. All right. So there's the D for Doge. See the wow dot. Wow. Okay. All right. Phil Hawes. All right. And then the wow is for that KO for the Brazilian. All right. Here we go. We got Phil Hawes. Look, Phil Hawes can out wrestle him. I see a pathway for Phil. The issue is if he gets cracked, I'm gonna be like, damn, did I just lead the folks into one of the chinniest fighters in the UFC? It's a problem. My coin landed on Hawes. I'll double up with you, but AJ, I would not recommend betting on this fight, folks. Enjoy it.
You know, I really think Brunno is beatable. Okay, let me just read off Phil Hawes's last couple of L's before we, think too much into it. Roman Dolidze knocked him out, top contender. Ikram Aliaskarov, future top contender. I feel like there's a path for victory with Phil Hawes. The thing is, he consistently doesn't perform. He's always been hot and cold. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, though. So I think that Hawes is just good enough not to completely bust out and take a third loss in a row. Because if he loses a third in a row, he's probably out of the UFC. Bruno Ferreira, powerful guy, good brawling style, but I think beatable. Beatable. I'm not impressed. I picked Rizzy Boov over him. That came to fruition. I'm riding with it. I'm going with Phil Hawes.
Yeah, I could see it too, man. I like this comment I just read. First eye blind. If you bet on Phil Hawes, he gets chinned. If you don't, he smokes Ferreira. Just that type of guy. You know? Chill on this one, folks.
Odds for it, though. We have to talk odds. Plus 105 for Phil Hawes. Minus 125 for Ferreira. The under 1.5 is minus 225. Hawes by KO plus 200. Ferreira by KO plus 125.
Yeah. Close fight. I mean, the odds reflect it, right?
Hawes by decision plus 650.
Jesus. Well, that's kind of interesting because I think Hawes' most likely method here is taking this decision. So that's a little wide.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, bro. I like that decision. Hawes.
Okay, then we're on Hawes' decision.
Hawes.
Go bet on it. Just kidding, folks. Come on. This is not financial advice. You got to make the choice. But I like that line better than anything else you just read me by far.
This is financial advice. This is how you get rich. Go bet your life savings on Phil Hawes.
Somebody's going to clip this, and we're going to be sitting on, the House Judiciary Committee. We're going to be sitting there in front of who's the politician who wanted to fight the other dude in an MMA fight? You remember that?
Yeah, he'll be on our side though. We'll be fine.
Okay, well at least we got somebody on our side. That's good. This is a good start.
We'll be fine. We'll be all right.
With AJ, it'll just say Florida man tells people
guilty
to bet their life savings.
Listen, you know what? If they can't sense my sarcastic personality at times, then I will say.
I'm still trying to figure out if you think the Gabriel Gonzaga knockout's real. I can't fucking tell. I don't know.
You guys can't tell when I'm fucking around? Listen, never happened. Never happened. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Ricky Simón versus Mario Bautista. Listen, bro, I was sitting on this one for a bit, and I said, okay, Mario Bautista had a real back and forth with Damon Blackshear, and he's not really beating anybody good. Ricky Simón has that Jack Shore win, who's a decent fighter. Even though he got beaten up by Song, he did survive 4 rounds and some seconds with him. I'm going to go Ricky Simón. I'm going to say that he takes a decision. I was looking at the striking, and I'm like, okay, Simon's got faster hands. Like, I don't know how to describe it with Bautista, but he's kind of like 1-1-2. Like I don't want to say he's robotic though, but he's like not a crisp striker that's stringing these shots together with fluidity. Whereas I think Simón, not this high tier striker either, better boxer, can rip big punches, and they both can grapple. I kind of favor Simón with that shorter, stockier frame taking a hard fought decision.
Yeah, I like Simón a lot. Look, Bautista can be more active. He could definitely touch him up a little bit, but Simon's a bully in there. We can't go off of just the last fight. He's definitely got a lot to offer in the UFC. Young, very strong, very powerful, as you said, and getting experienced at this point. So I think he bounces back. I think he looks good against Bautista. I like this matchup for him. Yeah, let's go Simón. Maybe Bautista drags it out, though. I think Bautista could survive the storm a little bit, but he ends up on bottom. He gets bullied a little bit in that small cage. We got to go Simón. I'll go decision, though.
Simón decision, same side for It's minus 180 for Ricky Simón. Mario Bautista plus 155. The over 2.5 is minus 170. And Simón by decision plus 130. I think that's very live as far as props go.
Haunter says, Finch, thoughts on Jessica Andrade OnlyFans, folks?
I just subscribed. What are you talking about?
Folks.
What?
First of all, I'm married, all right? My wife can hear me talking right now, all right? So that's my comment on that one. Dixon, Finch got selective amnesia when he's looking at the chat. Listen, Dixon, if you're being a dick, son, then I ain't bringing your shit up, all right? All right? That's my amnesia.
All right, Ricky Simón for the win, man. We're both going Simón. He's gonna get it done. That's it. What else we gotta say about it, right? Any other final send-off words, right? Simón decision.
I think it's Simón decision. I just I think it's a little bit bettable too, because Simón, this is a matchup that he's going to be the bully. He's going to be able to feel confident against the fence, feel confident in the grappling, sort of let his hands go, because Bautista not terribly dangerous. I like it for Simón, dude. Yeah.
I got to bring this guy up. He said it how many times? Fuck that, AJ. Your hat is taking everything I work for, motherfucker. I'm fighting your fucking hat. You want a real fight? That real money fight? It's me versus your hat. Listen, bro. Come grab
It's me.
Come
not those other clowns that you punked at the press conference. You want that real shit.
Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan, God bless you. I don't know what vendetta you have against my hat, but come take it from me, huh? Max Blanco with a dono too. Dono time. Let's go. My guy, Big W, Max Blanco. Thank you for the $5. AJ, show the hairline. Listen, I'm not trying to blind you guys' eyes. I'm not trying to blind.
Do you see this dono with the 10 with the freaking balloons and stuff?
Where?
Max, Max White. You did a great job, man.
Max White.
Thank you, Max.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I can't see it on my other screen. I didn't notice.
Yeah, the folks can't see it at home, but we can. Thank you, Max White. Appreciate you.
Big W. Thank you. Minus 600 AJ's hat. That's all I had to bring up. Thank you, Paku. Let's go. Listen, we got more fights to talk about. Featured bout coming up next. We got Jim Miller versus Gabriel Mowgli Benítez. I'm picking Jim Miller. How can I go against him? Are you kidding me? Him for a knockout or submission win and then a fight on 300? I'll be pretty happy with that. Jim Miller's got a boxing advantage and a punching power advantage. Mowgli can kick, though. Holy shit, he can kick. I just think that he's more past his prime than Jim Miller, and Jim Miller's more well-rounded than him. I think Miller's going to hurt him on the feet. I think he's live for a knockout win, but a club and sub would not shock me either.
We got to go with Jim Miller, folks. Look, he's no spring chicken, but the dude is on fire at 40 years old. He is more dangerous with his striking than he's ever been. And I'm pulling up the record of Benítez. I'm seeing this Billy Quarantillo loss. I'm reminded of the David Onama loss. Yeah, he beat Charlie Ontiveros, who's like almost has an even record. Jim Miller is on fire at 40 years old, believe it or not. I do think, as AJ said in his other show, he punches the ticket to UFC 300 with this one. Jim Miller's an absolute beast, man. How do you not root for the legend, the savage Jim Miller? Now, Gabriel Benítez can grapple. He's got a ton of submission victories, a lot of knockouts as well. He's a dangerous guy. But how are you going to, how are you going to think he's going to sub Jim Miller? Jim Miller's not the type of guy to go out there and get subbed. His guillotines are world class. His striking is pretty damn dangerous too. I don't know how it ends. I would just say, if you're thinking about betting on this one, for me, it's Moneyline Jim Miller.
Moneyline Jim Miller sitting at -119. Gabriel Benítez -101. Miller to win via submission is +450 with a knockout at +275. This fight to go over 1.5 is actually -140. I'm expecting violence between these two. Yeah, I'm with you on Jim Miller. I think he's a good money line. I like
Me
Jimbo.
too, man. Me too. Those odds you read me, I'm actually surprised Jim Miller's not a little wider. Those are nice odds.
He opened as a dog, bro. He opened
Is that
up
right?
at +120, bro.
Bro, what are these people seeing? Really?
Mowgli Benítez didn't he get rocked by Justin James? I'm not imagining that.
No,
Justin
he's
James had
not.
him buckling his knees.
I don't think he's fucking with Jim Miller, AJ.
Nah,
I like
hell
Jim
no.
Miller a lot in this one.
Yeah, me too. Jim Miller, call for both of us to get it done. Close money play too. I like that shit. Let's keep running. Co-main event. Manel Kape versus Matheus Nicolau. I'm picking Manel Kape. I also have a gripe with Matheus Nicolau. Because if he wins the fight, we might as well just delete the flyweight division, because you know what I'm saying? Like he's killing it. Manel Kape, at the very least, is an interesting challenge for Pantoja, because let's be honest, bro, there is a high likelihood chance Brandon Moreno beats Amir Albazi. So then where does it leave us? With a quadrilogy with Pantoja, Moreno running it another time, or Manel Kape winning here, looking kind of impressive, getting the title shot, running it back with Pantoja? I would way rather see that. I think Kape can hurt Nicolau. Nicolau is like so much lateral movement, so much avoidance of the fight. Now, it's good counter striking. It's well-timed takedowns. It's snooze fest, though. And Kape's trying to take his fucking head off. I think Kape's hands are going to be on fire. I see him ripping nice punches, touching up Nicolau. And I'm going to say Manel Kape wins this thing. I think he can chin him, man. I hope he chins him. Decision's live, too, but I hope he chins him. I'm picking Manel Kape for the win.
Yeah, especially coming off of that Brandon Royval fight for Nicolau, right? I think this is the right time for Manel Kape to get in there, start fast, and maybe find a finish. So you like the KO. I think I like the KO too. I'm a little bit more cautious with this one. I mean, it's a good fight. Manel Kape, star boy, punching his ticket would be insane, but Matheus Nicolau is super dangerous. I mean, his record's nasty, right? Matheus Nicolau, 19-3. Come on, man. 19-3.
He's a fucking bump. Nah, he's good.
I think Nicolau is pretty game and has a pathway to get a decision here. But yeah, I like the knockout for Manel Kape too. And Manel Kape coming out guns a-blazing would be a good thing. Do a Charles Oliveira type start, because again, the way we saw Brandon Royval get Nicolau out of there, I think Manel Kape doesn't have the jiu-jitsu, obviously, but he definitely has power in his strikes. So Manel Kape knockout could be the first round.
Like their first fight, too, if you look back, it's not convincing for Nicolau either. I thought Kape could have got it. Yeah, and he was doing more, I think, offensively with hands. So I'm going to say Kape gets it this time. We're going with Manel Kape. Odds, though, they're wide. -270 for Kape to +230 for Nicolau. Now, even though I'm calling knockout, I don't love the lock of a knockout at +185. I mean, it's a good enough tag to play, but I wouldn't assure everybody that your money's safe with a knockout prop there. Possible, sure. But Nicolau, yeah, he got chinned by Royval, and he's been chinned, I believe, against Dustin Ortiz previously. But, not a lock that he gets chinned here. I'm hoping Kape knocks him out, though. That's what I want to happen. You ask me what I want, Kape knocking him out, laying him clean.
Right. But you can't always get what you want. You know what I'm saying, man? It's
Country
like,
fish. Holy shit.
You like that?
That was crazy.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, there we go. Mike, what is it? Mike Loud Music on Instagram. Go check my shit out, guys.
Mike Loud Music on Instagram? Is another page?
Mike Loud Music. Just go Mike Finch MMA. I'll put it up on my story, okay?
Mike Finch is dropping music after this.
Oh, I got music. You didn't know about the music?
Mike Finch, how long we done this show? He said he likes music. He never said he got a musical page. Mike Finch has a whole secret alliance we don't know about, guys.
I got a couple bops, bro. I do got a couple bops. Maybe I'll bring them by. All right. Let the folks know. We'll see if they want it. I know they want the MMA picks. I don't know if they want the beats, but I do write music and I have a guitar I cannot play, and I think I'm good at writing music. So now I just got to get good at singing it, that part.
Yeah.
So listen, folks, we're gonna go Manel Kape, but the odds are not juicy, so be careful. I do think that it's going to be a competitive fight, and that Matheus Nicolau is a tough customer.
He is. I respect the call. We're on the same side. We're going Kape. Yeah, minus 200 range. It's not a great money line, especially when he does have a loss to him in the past. Ready for this main event, bro?
Oh, I am super ready for the main event.
Let's go. Let's go. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't yet, smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe with your post notifications turned on. Put them on all, not this personalized, so you don't miss a video, because I got daily content, okay? And more than ever before, because I'm covering the news with the daily live streams, with the normal picks and betting breakdowns too. So you got to keep it locked in right here at MMA Experts. Main event of the evening, Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2. Rematch that, nobody is all that overzealous to see. Nah, actually, I'm kind of excited.
I like this fight.
I'll tell you why.
What are you shitting on the fight
Can I tell you
for?
why?
I like this fight.
Can I tell you why? Because I really think Magomed Ankalaev wins, and that sucks for light heavyweight. That's horrible. I don't want to see Ankalaev main event in 300.
Get what you want. Come on, AJ.
We broke the country Finch out. Where's he from? Nebraska?
I don't know, man. Yeah, he does have that certain twang to the voice, right? Yeah. I know. I'm just doing a mimic, Right. Sometimes I just catch him. I did GSP earlier. What you guys want, Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson thing. You can't always get what I could mimic people. Okay, I could do a Donald Trump. You can't always get what you want, AJ. It's not always tremendous, AJ. We could keep going with the mimics, but I actually don't know where he's from.
Well, what do you think about this fight? Let me ask you that.
I think this fight's great. Look, if you want to put Ankalaev in a matchup that you think is fun, give him a guy who's going to try to finish him. I mean, I think this is the right time. I just think you don't like Ankalaev. I think any Ankalaev matchup, you're going to be like, meh. But Ankalaev should be the champ. I got news for you. He
fucking walking out of this. I'm done.
He don't lie to me. He freaking beat the shit out of Jan Blachowicz. And I know you're going to call him Jan Blachowicz because you ain't Polish, all right? But I got some Polish ancestors. And I'll tell you what, Jan Blachowicz lost that fight. I do think, actually, in all seriousness, it was a draw and it should have been because of the scoring. But he lost that fight in a sense that he got his ass whooped towards the end, and you really saw the level difference in the wrestling and the grappling overall. And Ankalaev can do that to pretty much anybody in the division, especially the UFC division. You guys always hear me hype up the Bellator light heavyweight division. I do think there's some fun fights there if those come to be, or maybe they're in PFL. I don't know. But as far as the UFC guys go, the strikers that are there, Alex Pereira, dude, I think Ankalaev is a problem for Alex Pereira. So Ankalaev's a beast, and you guys better put some respect on it. He's going to dominate this fight more than likely.
Joseph H with the dono. Finch, I thought about you yesterday. It's a little sus. No, sure. Yesterday I was at UFC gym in Wrigleyville. Hey, where you at near Wrigleyville, bro?
Let's go. Joseph H. It's not Joey Heinrich. Is it my homeboy? I mean, my boy from way back when, Joseph H. What's the last name? UFC gym in Wrigleyville. That's awesome. Let them know Mike Finch sent you. They're going to hook you up for sure. That's great. I was running the UFC gym in River North, Lincoln Park, Oak Lawn. I mean, I go back with the UFC gym. So we're over here at UFC Rosemead now, and I'm going to work out right after the show is over. I'm going to go meet my guy Ezra and do a jiu-jitsu workout at UFC HB. That's what an animal I am. I'm training at Art of Jiu-Jitsu in the morning, and I'm getting that work in at night. I hope you're doing the same in Wrigleyville. All the best, and thank you for the dono, Joey.
Let's go. Thank you, bro. Mike, the Magomed Ankalaev fight. Huh?
I'm yelling out at the chat. I missed you too, Bon Tims. Miss you guys. Thank you. Good to be back.
All right, so let me tell you something. Magomed Ankalaev, I am picking to win, but I have already sent a prayer to the MMA gods for Johnny Walker to be victorious, and I pray strongly that they'll be answered. I do not care about getting the first main event of 2024 wrong if I get to see Johnny Walker, Alex Pereira at UFC 300, because that's what happens if Johnny Walker wins. How sick would that fight be? Come on. That's what we all want. Fingers crossed.
You want to see Johnny Walker. You
crossed.
just want to be entertained. Is
Yes.
that all that matters to you, AJ?
Yes.
Does it not matter who the best fighter is? Do we have to have an entertainment for you?
Yes.
I want to see who the best guy is. That's what I care about.
Listen, Ankalaev, he's got good skills.
This is why AJ watches college football, folks.
I don't watch
all
no
he
college
gives a
football.
shit about
What?
is the score high or not. No, I want to know who the best fighter in the world is. That's why I'm a UFC fan.
You know what? Ankalaev is good. Okay. And unfortunately, I think he is a bad matchup for Alex Pereira. I've never denied these claims. But if I am the UFC, I'm the money machine. Do I want to have Ankalaev as the champion? Light heavyweight's going to be forgotten about. We need Walker to win, guys. So send all your energy to Johnny Walker, flying knee, first round. Lay him clean. Now, I'm not picking it, though. I'm picking Ankalaev, the analyst in me. I have to be an analyst, but I can let loose a bit. The analyst in me is on Ankalaev to win, and it sucks because I really like Johnny Walker. I really want him to win. But I have to pick who I think the better guy is, and I'll agree. I think that Ankalaev is good. I think Ankalaev could be champion. And I think that the light heavyweight division would suffer the dark times of Ankalaev. We need to fight at this point. Sign me Nemkov, bring in somebody else. Like that's what I want.
I'm saying. I mean, I am saying. You know, I'm just saying we could sweeten up the light heavyweight division. Why'd you guys let Phil Davis walk? Why is Corey Anderson walking? What are we getting rid of these quality light heavyweights for? That's all I'm saying. Okay, you say flying knee for Johnny Walker.
Anything.
I think more likely is when he's on the fence and Ankalaev's head is right next to him. Those elbows, those freaking long ass wings he's got coming out of those shoulders. Dude, I think those Johnny Walker elbows are off of his back. I mean, Johnny Walker's elbows are crazy. And over a 5-round fight, could he cut Ankalaev up? You know, I think he might slice that forehead up a little bit. I think he might slice that eyebrow. I think that's how Johnny Walker gets this thing done. He's getting out wrestled for sure. So he's just got to go berserk everywhere else.
Yeah. No, I think you got a point. I hope that you're right, but bro, Ankalaev's probably going to beat him. So Ankalaev, odds for him to win sit at -500 with Johnny Walker at +375. You know, Walker by KO +600, Ankalaev by KO -265. If you look at the first fight at the time of the illegal knee, too, like I feel like Ankalaev was starting to have the momentum shift in his favor.
Yeah. Ankalaev is very clearly able to decide where this fight takes place. That is extremely important in an MMA fight, but it's not everything. And if he spends too much time on the feet, it could be a problem. And if he doesn't throw enough ground and pound, it could be a problem. Like there are ways Ankalaev messes this up, but it's just that. It's like he seems to be the better guy, and he's just got to go out there and you know, do it in the MMA context. He's got to drop elbows from full guard. He's got to make Johnny Walker work. If he gets Johnny Walker tired, he'll probably start to take this thing over 3, 4, 5. He's just got to be careful in 1 and 2, and I think he does. So official pick. Ankalaev punches his ticket for the title shot and then smashes Alex Pereira. Dun, dun, dun.
Bum. Sorry, I was looking at the chat, bro. Justin Mack, don't time these guys out, man. He's timing out Diamond Combat. He's getting too powerful with his mod status. He's dropping timeouts over here.
Yeah, chill. Dan E. Finch with the Saudi oil tycoon glasses. Hey, man, if I could get some of the Saudi oil tycoon money, that would be nice. All right? That would be nice. Maybe the glasses will bring it to me.
Let's go. The glasses might, Finch.
You know, they say dress for the part you want, right? Dress for the job you want. I need a few million.
A few million is coming.
So I put
Saudis
the glasses on.
The world.
Just
We're
so
gonna
I
get you a
can
job
live.
with them. I like the glasses, bro. I think they're nice, man. Good shades, bro. You know what I'm more excited for, though, than those glasses? This Moneyline Lock of the Night segment. So, Moneyline Lock of the Night. Mike Finch, what are you thinking this week? Starting off the year.
Listen, man, when we talked about it, I had to do the switcheroo. I think Jim Miller's a lock. I like Jim Miller in this fight. Jim Miller at 40 years old is going to be my lock, and I'm going to completely flip on the logic when we go to the parlay. But I think that at 40, Jim Miller is actually in some sort of a, it's not that he's in his prime. I shouldn't use that word prime, but his striking is better than ever. He seems to be more dangerous than ever. And I do believe he's going to pull the trigger knowing that he's got to fight on UFC 300. The stars are seeming to align, and I am not a pious man. I'm not a superstitious man, but I do believe that he is meant to fight on UFC 300, and it's going to happen. Jim Miller is my lock of the night.
So I'll tell you guys this. Before the show, I had in my mind that I was going to lock Joshua Van, but he's minus 210. I'm not in the mood to be, a bitch this week. I'm going for Jim Miller too. So we're doubling it up. Jim Miller, lock of the week. Let's fucking get it.
Let's go. Let's go,
Dude,
AJ. I thought you were going to go Ricky Simón on us. Yes, let's go.
Let's go. Listen, bro. Finch, you're the new Turkey Al-Sheikh. All right.
I gotta get the whole deal going here, man. I didn't wear the right
on one of
shirt
these streams. Can you wear one of those on one of the streams?
Yeah, I'll look into it. I think I gotta go over to the UAE, or I gotta visit. Maybe I'll go to the Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou fight. I'll wear the whole deal.
All right, good. Listen, I'm hoping that we see it soon. We got more though. Mike Finch's best segment, I would say, coming up next with the parlay.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallet
and let's
give the
bet on
books
some
your money
fist
and
fight.
run. No. All right, Mike Finch, 2024. You got to start off with a win, man. So I'm expecting something great out of you. So let's see it. I'm going to clean my nose.
Come on, folks. This is my segment. This is where I get to put some slight favorites together, where I'm able to get on some rolls for y'all. And how often is it even money or plus money when you just put a couple nice W's together? And what's a bigger W on this card than Where's Waldo finding Andrei Arlovski's chin? I think Where's Waldo is an absolute lock here. I do believe that this is going to be the end of a phenomenal career of Andrei Arlovski. What a huge, feather in his cap to fight this late in his career, to adjust his style so many times, but there's always an end of a road. We are all just biological organisms on this rock flying through space, and I do believe that biological age is catching up with the great and powerful pit bull. So give me Where's Waldo, a former professional boxer, a guy who's really found his feet in the UFC, and a guy who clearly should be running through a ancient Andrei Arlovski. Where's Waldo ups number one. And then I'm taking Ricky Simón. I do think Bautista is good. I think there's, a possibility it makes it a little close, but Ricky Simón's going to bounce back nicely here. I like him in this fight. I like him in the clinch. I like him putting pressure forward. I do think he could potentially start picking this thing up dominantly. But even if we see Bautista fight his best fight, I don't see Ricky Simón getting finished. I don't see him having too many issues. I think he bounces back nicely here. So put him together with Where's Waldo, and you got my first parlay of 2024.
Mike Finch, good call. I like that. I'm going to go with Where's Waldo. I'm going to go with Joshua Van. I'm going to go with Tom Nolan. Little trifecta. Sitting around plus 130 for mine for the Finch mans with Where's Waldo, and also with Ricky Simón minus 109. So like minus 110 almost.
I'm
Winner.
a fan of it. Look, it's close
Winner.
enough for me. I did think about throwing Basharat in there. So just so you know, I was thinking about getting crazy for the plus money, but that's not the official one. If you insist on your parlays being plus money, something to consider, Basharat's the man.
Let's go. Finch, man. First show back of 2024. You got a little runny nose. It is what it is. We're bringing the heat. You know what's crazy, Finch? I'm not done for tonight. I got another video to do. I got to drop this Nate Diaz Masvidal thoughts, this reaction. I'm going to have that up in the channel in the next hour or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So that's why we say put those post notifications turned on, because a lot of things are dropping, man. With news coming in too, I'm on top of this shit, Mike Finch. I'm doing the most out here.
AJ always doing the most. His nose might be runny, but his picks are solid. And that's what you're here for, folks. We'll see you back for Moneyline. Every single UFC card. We're out here predicting the fights. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Check out Mike Finch MMA. I got my guy Cam over there filming techniques with me. He's going to be editing them, and we're going to put out some techniques. You want to learn how to whoop somebody's ass? I'll show you how to do it. And as always, AJ, I appreciate you having me on, man. It's fun to host this Moneyline show with you. We've been doing it for a long time, over 100 episodes. Are we crazy or what? We're still going in 2024. They can't stop us. So tell your friends, tell your mom, make sure everybody's tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and drop a W in the chat because it helps us. And I know you're on the team.
Let's go. Finch, he handled the outro beautifully. Much love, Finch, man. Much love, people. I'll see you all with this reaction coming up for Diaz Masvidal, and then the live stream Q&A tomorrow. So keep it locked in. Peace, guys. Much love, and have a great night.